Today we have a special edition where we discuss the full solar eclipse. I'm going to be joined by Evan Imboden. He's an elder at the church, formerly a teacher, and a fellow science nerd. So why don't you join us for the discussion?
Cool.
We made this happen.
I'm on.
Yeah.
We finally made it.
We made it.
It wasn't easy.
I know. So you're going to make it for the eclipse?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be there in my driveway.
Oh,
So we have the
awesome.
fortune of having Findlay be in totality. So that's good.
So total solar eclipse
Yes.
right over Findlay.
Yep. Well, yes.
Wow.
Over Findlay and several other places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So I've heard a lot of chatter about this being really special. You know, it's like maybe once in a lifetime that it'll go over your hometown. But also, you know, I imagine the very fact that we get like a full solar eclipse over the earth is probably a big deal, right?
It is a big deal. Yeah. Like you say, it's probably once in a lifetime. Not really. It happens a lot, but the earth is big. So you're at different places on the earth where it happens. I come from Illinois, so we just had one. I think it was in 2016.
Yeah.
We had one that went through southern Illinois, and that was my first total solar eclipse I got to see.
Sweet.
So we drove just a little bit further south from where we were in Illinois and got to see it.
But it wasn't over your driveway.
It was not over my driveway.
This was going to
one's
be over
right
your driveway.
That's why I moved to Findlay.
Yeah.
I totally planning for this eclipse the entire time.
So, I mean, is the planet Earth like the only place where you get a solar eclipse like this? Or, I mean, how unique is this thing?
Yeah. So this is a weird phenomena. It's the fact that we have a moon that is nice and spherical, you know. Not all planets have moons to begin with. So of the terrestrial planets in our solar system, a couple planets don't even have moons, but like Mars does have moons, but they're irregularly shaped. Phobos and Deimos are just kind of they're the ugliest moons in the solar
Yeah, they
system.
look kind of like bad potatoes.
Yeah, they're very not good moons. So, but Earth has a huge moon
Okay.
in perspective to how big our planet is. Our moon is huge, and it just so happens to be about 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's 400 times the distance to the sun. And so because of that strange arrangement of geometry, our moon can fit right into the disk of the sun. And from our perspective on the planet, it looks like the two line up nearly perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's just completely unusual. That's what I think. And everybody always, even astronomers, you know, when I taught astronomy, we talked about it. What a coincidence, you know. And I'm like, it's not a coincidence. Most people say it is, but to me, it is a statement of, wow, what are the odds of that just perfectly lining up like that on the one planet in our solar system that has intelligent life on it? That phenomena happens. I think it's an incredible coincidence, if you will, but I think it points to design. And so...
Well, it is interesting that it just so happens that the only planet where you get such a perfect eclipse is the only planet where there's actually creatures that can appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. You get eclipses on other, you know, I can show you eclipses on Jupiter. You know, we can put a scope on Jupiter and I can show you the moons travel across it and they're eclipses. But not this type of eclipse, not a total solar eclipse where it fits perfectly in the sun.
Yeah.
And even on Earth, sometimes you'll have other kinds of eclipses. There's annuals where it's complicated, but our
Is
planet...
that the Ring of Fire Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's the moon, like
yeah.
the orbit's slightly irregular, so sometimes the moon appears slightly smaller than the Earth, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
you get a ring of fire. And then
Right.
other times you have total eclipses where it completely covers. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, an annular eclipse is one that it fits inside and you
Yeah.
get the ring, but that is because our our orbit around the sun is elliptical, so it's not perfectly
Hmm.
round. And so sometimes we're a little bit farther away from the
Hmm.
sun, and sometimes we're a little bit closer. And so that moon Earth that moon Earth system
Yeah.
is a little bit farther or more distant. The other part of it is our moon travels around the Earth, and as a result, that also is elliptical. There's a little bit of an adjustment there, and that tilt is about a 5-degree tilt on the orbit. So if you put all those factors together, two elliptical orbits of so the distances vary just slightly. Then there's a tilt to the plane of that orbit. Everything has to line up just right because you have to have a moon that's in a position of being in front of the sun, and you have to have it in an alignment that at a certain distance, so everything lines up. So annulars happen, partials happen, but a total solar eclipse is when everything's lined up just right and everything fits perfectly. And it's only on Earth that you actually get that phenomena.
Yeah. So there's this like Goldilocks
Yeah.
situation where it's just right.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess, I guess Pluto's not a planet anymore, but
It's a minor.
it's a minor, it's a
Yeah.
humble planet.
Yeah, it's a humble planet.
But I think Pluto has a moon, right? But it's not.
Yeah. Charon is Pluto's moon, but it's so far away. So the sun just appears to be a dot, right, in the sky. It's very small
Yeah.
compared to what it looks like here. We're 93 million miles away.
Yeah.
But I forget the distance of Pluto, but it's geometrically farther. And so as a result, Charon, if it lined up right, would completely cover the sun, like it would cover the dot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, going back to Earth, the fact that the moon exactly fits into the ring of the sun's photosphere is phenomenal. And that's where it just irritates me as an astronomer of when people say, boy, that's a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Yeah,
What a
it sure is. Almost like someone designed it that way, which is exactly what I believe happened.
So, yeah, I mean, you see evidence of design. So, does this communicate anything important about God, or does it speak into like Christianity at all? Like, what does it mean?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, no.
Yeah.
I don't think this. So I've heard a lot of things about eclipses and prophetic, connections and signs.
Like the sun being darkened or the moon turning to blood.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly those things are scriptural. Those things happened, and those things are prophesied. But this is a physical phenomena. It's a predictable, mathematical, calculated thing. It does not speak into it's not prophetic. It happens before it'll happen again. Now, God could use these things to work out his will if that is what he wanted to communicate, something like that. But in this case, I would not connect that to any kind of prophecy. Instead, what I believe is simply, like I said before, I think this is a very good piece of evidence of design. And in my opinion, if it does show design, then that means the possibility of a designer who designed it.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's a way that God is communicating, if you will, that, hey, I'm giving you clues in the universe that someone is behind all this. So if he's communicating at least his presence through physical phenomena, what else might he communicate through his written word, which is the Bible? And I think that's where Romans comes into my mind. Men are without excuse because they see these things in the world. And I think if we see some things in the natural world, it should lead us toward pursuing the one who made these things in the natural world.
The alternative is it's a coincidence.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. The alternative is it's a rando coincidence.
Nigh impossible.
Yeah.
A, that it would be there in the first place.
Yeah.
B, that we would even recognize it or appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and like I shared with you before, if you think about the sizes that are involved here, if Earth was a marble, the size of a marble, what was that the analogy I used? I think it was a marble.
Yeah.
And then the moon would be the size of a BB. Okay. So then the sun is about like a 6 foot guy, 6 foot tall guy in one of those Zorb balls. It's like a Zorb ball as you can
Yes.
get in this huge thing. So 6 foot tall versus a BB.
Yeah.
What are the odds that BB would completely perfectly cover that 6 foot diameter sphere?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy with math. You just put it at a certain distance and we'll get the things to line up from your perspective. But my goodness, that's perfect math.
Yeah.
It perfectly lines up.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
to me, I think we don't appreciate the circumstances by which an eclipse actually happens. To me, it's design.
Yeah. Right. So as Christians, as we watch the solar eclipse, what could we do with that? Like, what should happen to our hearts when we get to see this, this phenomena, this amazing thing?
I find it comforting to know that there's a designer. This is another case to know that we're not alone, that there is a designer. There's someone who's orchestrating all this. And this is just like eye candy, right? I mean, it's great. I praise God for the eclipse.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be anything more than that. I don't think there's prophecy and it's a sign of this or that. But I do think that we should praise God for the fact that he has put a universe together that is amazing and safe in where we are. That's one other thing. A lot of things irritate me. I'm finding out. Another thing that irritates me.
Curmudgeon scientists.
Yeah. Like Carl Sagan, one of his lines is, boy, it seems like the universe that's an awful waste of space. And that was in his famous book and the movie that came from it. But it isn't. If you know much about astronomy, it is not a waste of space. Space, the universe, is exceedingly dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It will kill you. There's no heat in most of it, and the places where there is enough heat, it comes with radiation that will kill you. If a nova goes off too close to you, you're done. Mm-hmm. If there's a black hole too close, you're done. So people, they look out across this vast universe and they're like, man, there's a lot of space for plenty of other life, and there's plenty of space for other planets we could go to and live on. I challenge that because it is exceedingly dangerous in space, and we are far away from things for a reason. And so once again, you look at the eclipse and it's like there's a designer, and the fact that he's put us in the universe in a very safe pocket. Mm-hmm. He's even supplied Jupiter, which is a like a meteor magnet for us. It keeps most of the meteors away from the interior planets where we live. So there's design in all over the place when you look at it. And like someone said, that a good planet is hard to find. Yeah. And it's really hard to find.
So I feel inspired to read Psalm 19 that says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaim his handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words, whose voice is not heard. The voice goes out through all the earth." Yeah, I mean, that's what's amazing, is that we have somebody to thank for this. Yeah. We get to thank God that it is such a gift that we get to see such a thing.
Yeah.
And so, you're going to have to wear your special eyeglasses, right, to look at this thing. So I should have put those in my dog.
Here we go.
I saw some questions online about this. Do I need to put one on my dog?
No, you do not need to put glasses on your dog.
Why not?
Because dogs they don't care at all about this. And that's a good point. I mean, we are made in the image of God.
Yeah.
Humans are.
Yeah.
And we appreciate, as Psalm 1 or 19:1 says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky proclaims his handiwork. We can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Dogs don't care. The sun's out every day.
Yeah.
And they don't look at it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to look at it during an eclipse either. But we are. And that's why it's amazing. I think that is why God put these signs in the heavens, this phenomena for us to think about, wow, that someone made all this.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what response I should have toward that. If someone made this and made me, what are the philosophical implications? What are the theological implications of that? I think, again, that is a good beginning place for people that are seeking God, or maybe even not seeking God. It's a good beginning place to start thinking about your place in the heavens, because there is a God. He does have a message, and we need to be paying attention to what he is proclaiming in the heavens.
All right, man. Looking forward to this.
Hey, me too. Me too.
Thanks.